Hi everyone, you're watching Good for the Game TV, and this is our Stage 6 preview and update of the Tour de France. Well, it's bright and early here in South Africa. I had a poker match last night, and then I knew I had a meeting this morning, but I didn't realize where the venue was, and I had to get up about an hour and a half earlier than expected. Anyway, we're on to a great stage today. Stage 5, I must tell you, if you followed my bets, you'll know I totally misread it. I really did think we'd have some action, not from the GC men, but certainly from the stronger classic type riders, but it wasn't like that at all. Sunweb tried to keep the pace up on the final climbs, but really they shelled the pure sprinters, but it came down to a sprint finish. I knew my match bet, Alaphilippe over Sagan, was absolutely gone when they came to the finish together. Peter Sagan, what an absolute superstar that guy is. Let's go and have a look at the results from yesterday. We'll then catch up on the outright betting, which of course hasn't changed much. And finally, we'll have a look at the stage and hopefully pick a winner. I could do with one after yesterday's stage, I must tell you. Let's have a look at the outright betting. This is now on sunbet.coza. Egan Bernal, this is a decimal betting, so this is equivalent to 15 to 10. He continues to shorten. I've seen as short as 12 to 10 about Bernal. Of course, we haven't seen anything, and we're going to see a lot today. We'll get on to stage 6 now. But a lot of this is just people trying to look and see, how do they look? They've had the one sort of I think it was stage 3 that finished on a bit of an uphill, and he picked up a few seconds over the likes of Thomas. And people trying to see how that goes. There's 26 to 10 Geraint Thomas. I do know there's 11 to 4 Thomas available, so depending on where you shop around, you can get a better price on Thomas. Jakob Fuchslang, he's 9 to 1. Kruijswijk, he's firm at 12 to 1 after the time trial. Thibaut Pinot, we'll talk about him a bit on today's stage as well. He's 12 to 1. Nairo Quintana, 16 to 1. I think you can still get 20s. And Adam Yates, he's 16 to 1 as well. Big day for him today. It's the sort of stage that should suit him. Let's have a look then at Will Newton's Twitter page as we go on to today's stage. So I do always share this Twitter thread. He posts a thread on Twitter and then actually replies to that thread with a full preview on the stage. And you can go down. He shows the profile. And if you actually go to his Twitter page, then let's just have a look here. If I click on the thread, it should, in theory, take me to the rest of his preview. But anyway, I won't scroll down it now, but you can find him on Inside Peloton 96. And his fancy on the stage today, I believe, was Thibaut Pinot. Let's go down now. Yes, here's his preview. You can see he goes through all the climbs, photographs of some of them, certainly the elevations, even talks about things like the weather. You'll see the amount of work he's put into this is exceptional, because you really have to scroll quite far down till he gets to the winner. Let's have a look at it. Quite a lot of responses to this. 24 more replies here. The skim on, I just want to get and make sure. I had a look late last night when I got in from an unsuccessful poker match. And there we go. He's gone Thibaut Pinot. And I must say Chris Sturdy on Good for the Game has also gone Thibaut. And this does look like a good stage for Pinot. Let's have a look at it, though. We've got, this is the sort of stage. If you showed me this profile, I'll tell you this stage is coming on stage 18 or 19. You don't often get a Tour de France stage like this so early in the week. When I first saw the stage, I actually thought, this is not actually a good thing, because the riders are going to be too conservative. They're going to ride it conservatively, and we're not going to have the classic stage that it should be. But when you dig deep into the stage and you see just how difficult some of these climbs are, not least of which the last one's up to La Plage des Belles. And I have no idea if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but look at that, 7 kilometers at 8.7. But before you get there, you've got a Cat 1, a Cat 3, a Cat 2, a Cat 1, a Cat 3, and another Cat 2. And we're talking like 3.5 kilometers at 9.5%. That's serious climbing. This is one of the toughest stages that I've actually seen on the Tour de France. It comes early in the Tour, so it's going to be very interesting, because we don't really know how the guys' climbing legs are. It's also a situation where often you get guys building to peak in week 3 of the Tour. And if you're anything less than, I would say, 95% of condition here, you're going to struggle and potentially lose the Tour today. And I think that's a fair comment. Today, we may not see who's going to win the Tour, although we may well see who the big favorite is. But we're certainly going to get a few of those guys in the top 10 in the betting. They're going to blow out today, and we're going to know that they're definitely not going to win the Tour. So there are all the climbs. As I say, go to Will's preview on Twitter if you want to see a nice detailed preview of each climb and what's likely to happen. But we will certainly get a strong break that will go today. But the general consensus amongst everyone I've spoken to is that the break is going to be caught at some point, perhaps near the bottom of the final climb, because you've just got too many guys, too many teams who are going to be looking to keep the pace on up front. Ineos will work hard, and then you've got the likes of Movistar and Astana will certainly try and push it. There's also some time bonuses, I think it's on the penultimate climb. We'll just have to check that. So we could have some really interesting racing today. But like everyone else, it's hard to look past the favourites. If you do look past the favourites, well, very tough to find a winner then as well. Let's take a look at the let's quickly take a look at the last kilometre, because this is an exceptionally tough climb, and it ends here. You'll see the gradient 13%, 11%, even 24% here. Now, the last kilometre is predominantly gravel, so it's really going to be a brute of a climb. Don't miss the stage. You really you don't want to miss this one. I unfortunately can't watch it live. I'll be staying off all forms of social media until I've had a chance to sit down and watch at least the last couple of hours of this one. Let's go back to the betting, have a look at the stage betting now. And here we have Egan Bernal, big things expected of the young Colombian. He's 3.75, just over 27 to 10. Thibaut Pinot, he's 6 to 1. Adam Yates, he is 10 to 1. Fuchslang, 16 to 1. So let's just quickly look at the top three in the betting. Bernal will, of course, have the support of his Ineos team. He does look at the moment as though he could be in better condition than Thomason. I guess you'd certainly rate him probably the top climber in the field, at least equal to any of the other top climbers. Pinot, well, he's in his home region here. I must say, him and his team have been impressive so far. He's got a fairly decent team to support him as well. And this just looks like a stage that's well cut out for Thibaut Pinot. He does seem to have come into the Tour in good shape. Of the two, Pinot, you've got double the price of Bernal, and I think that's the reason we're leaning towards Pinot. If Bernal was sort of 5 to 1, I think he'd get plenty of support as well. Adam Yates, yeah, this climb should suit him. It's not the longest of climbs, but it's steep and explosive, and that's what Yates enjoys. Fuchslang, well, there's still some doubts about his condition after his accident, although he's certainly done nothing to suggest that he's not in good shape. So he may offer a bit of value there at 16 to 1. Alaphilippe, well, he'll surely have to get into a break to protect his yellow jersey. And if he does, well, I suppose he has a chance of winning the stage. He's at 17 to 1, but not for me today. Geraint Thomas, 17, so we'll see if his legs are better than perhaps what has been suggested so far. And Valverde, this is just the sort of final climb that suits Valverde as well. So he may have a chance. What will his role be in the Movistar team? I think he'll be given free rein today at some point to go for the stage win if it's there for the taking. Mikel Landa, another one, 20 to 1. He, of course, did ride a hard Giro. Dan Martin, who hasn't looked at his best so far to me, but also hard to tell so far. He's 20s. Michael Woods, who loves the steep ramps, he's 20. And Roman Bardet, the other Frenchman, will be looking to do something, is 22. Nairo Quintana, I do expect him to be thereabouts. At 25 to 1, though, this doesn't really look like his sort of stage. If it was double the length, might be going for him. He's not as strong on the short, sharp, explosive stages, or climb, should I say. And Warren Barguil, I think he'd have to win from the break, and no doubt will be out there looking to pick up some King of the Mountains points. That's your betting. You've also got things like match bets that you can play as well. But I'm keeping things really simple here, just popping onto the Good for the Game forum. I'm going 1 unit Pinot to win, and I just want to put that in. That is actually at WSB. I saw some 7 to 1. So Pinot to win the stage. I'm following Chris Sturdy on this. I'm following Will Newton on this. Pinot to win the stage at 7 to 1. And then I don't normally take the top three as well, but I think this is going to be such a selective stage, and I'm going to effectively do what Chris is doing here and cover my stake. 1 unit Pinot, top three at 17 to 10. I am posting this in the Good for the Game forum, and what I'll do is I'll put a link to the forum down below this video, and I'll also put a link to our newsletter. I don't send something every day, but for the next 3 weeks, I like to correspond with as many Tour de France fans as I can on Twitter, newsletter, and I will be sending out a summary certainly towards the end of the week. And something to look forward to, Will Newton and myself, and possibly a couch critic, are going to do a bit of a panel discussion on Monday night. It'll probably be 10 o'clock South African time. And what we'll do is we'll do a live show, and we'll talk about the Tour. That'll be on the rest day. We'll talk about what's happened to the GC, and who are the boys and the men to watch over the next 2 weeks. Thanks, everyone, for watching. Remember, if you haven't done so yet, please subscribe to our channel below. And look out tonight. We've got 2 shows. GG Gaming on Mad at 8:30, where we get promotions from GG Gaming. And then 9 o'clock, our flagship rugby show, the Handicap Rugby Chat That Matters. We'll see you later. Enjoy what should be a cracking stage.